This is Sweden, not just a country, but a world where silence, cold, and elegance reign supreme. Perched high in the northern reaches of the map, it may appear calm, orderly, and perhaps a bit distant from the outside. But the real Sweden is a fire burning beneath the ice. Here, people head to work in quiet solitude each morning, but by night, the clubs come alive. Forests stretch for miles, yet you can step into nature without ever leaving the city center. Women captivate not with their beauty, but with their self-respect and strong presence. Men may be quiet, but when needed, they stand as firm as mountains. On the surface, Sweden is as calm as ice, but dig a little deeper, and you'll feel the indomitable spirit of the Vikings, the sharp structure of social justice, and an ancient bond with nature. This country is more than just IKEA and Spotify. It's a land where every stone holds thousands of years of history. A place where modernity and the past dance together in silence. And now, in this documentary, we begin our journey to uncover the warmest stories of the cold north, exploring every visible and hidden facet of Sweden. Swedish women and their role in society. The cold lands of the north and the deep sense of calm and order embedded in Sweden's nature are also reflected in its people. But Sweden cannot be defined solely by its quiet forests, spotless streets, or disciplined urban planning. One of the truly fascinating aspects of this country is the role of women, who form the backbone of society in both social and individual life. To be a woman in Sweden is something entirely different than being a woman elsewhere. Here, women are not only central within the family, but are also highly active and visible in professional life, politics, science, and culture. This visibility is not just about quantity, but quality. When you encounter a Swedish woman, you immediately sense that she's not just present. She's shaping the space she inhabits. One of the first things you'll notice is their confidence. For Swedish women, being confident is not just a choice, it's a right and even a responsibility. In the way they dress, behave, and speak, they define boundaries clearly. They know exactly what to say yes or no to. For many foreign men, this can be both attractive and surprising, because the classic rescuer man archetype simply doesn't work here. When a woman in Sweden asks for help, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of her willingness to act together. If a Swedish woman asks something of you, it reflects her intelligence and social awareness, not your superiority. So, how do relationships work in a country where women are so strong and independent? Dating culture in Sweden is open, honest, and natural. Swedish women are not shy about showing interest in someone they like, and they don't hesitate to make the first move. But a word of caution: Swedish women tire quickly of superficial attention. They care about character, intellectual depth, and lifestyle. In short, investing only in your looks won't get you very far here. Gender roles in Sweden are remarkably flexible. Society actively works to dismantle gender stereotypes. For example, fathers commonly take parental leave. Children are taught about gender equality from an early age in schools. Women become financially independent at a young age. A Swedish girl starting university may also be working part-time, paying her own rent and bills. This fosters early maturity and a strong sense of independence. When it comes to appearance, Swedish women are known worldwide for their natural beauty. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair skin are common features, but this beauty goes beyond genetics. They take great care of themselves. A lifestyle centered around fitness, healthy eating, and connection to nature is widely embraced. Natural looks are preferred over heavy makeup. Gyms, bike paths, and hiking trails are an integral part of Swedish women's daily lives. Another defining trait of Swedish women is their intellectual capacity. Reading rates are extremely high. Book clubs, cultural events, art exhibitions, and public talks are commonplace among women. And this intellectual curiosity isn't limited to the arts. Women are also prominent in fields like technology, economics, and environmental policy. When you talk to a Swedish woman, you quickly realize you're not just speaking with a beautiful face, but with a well-informed mind. In public life, women are highly visible in every sphere, from municipal councils to corporate boards, from universities to labor unions. Gender equality is protected by law. But more importantly, It is lived out in practice, from pay distribution to leadership roles and educational representation. Sweden is one of the most gender-equal societies in the world. Yet, even within this framework of equality, individual choices are deeply respected. Whether a woman chooses a career or decides to be a homemaker, it is seen as her personal decision, not something to be judged. Similarly, motherhood is valued, but not idealized. Women can be both mothers and professionals. Government support, through parental leave, childcare services, and flexible work hours, allows women to build lives on their own terms. Swedish women are powerful not only individually, but collectively. They play a major role in shaping public opinion through women's rights organizations, environmental movements, and social campaigns. The Me Too movement, for example, wasn't just a social media trend in Sweden. It became a force that triggered real structural changes in workplaces. As a result, women in Sweden are not just participants in society. They are its architects. They inspire, not just with their beauty, but with their intellect, presence, and approach to life. Foreign tourists, especially men, often find themselves initially mesmerized by Swedish women. But they soon realize that it's not enough to flirt. Mental and emotional alignment matters just as much. That's why Swedish women often turn a simple visit to Sweden into a deeper lesson in culture, respect, and understanding. And perhaps that's exactly why the cold climate of Sweden never truly chills you, because the women of this country are warm enough to reach your heart. But don't forget, this warmth isn't a response to ordinary attention. It responds only to genuine depth, modern life, and social structure. In Sweden, when people think of Sweden, one of the first things that comes to mind is a society where everything works like clockwork. In this country, everything seems to run as if it were planned in advance. Is your bus scheduled to arrive at 7:43 in the morning? You can be sure it will be there at that exact minute. Need to pay your taxes? It takes just a few clicks. No chaos, no confusion. In Sweden, modern life isn't just about technology. It's a blend of trust, simplicity, and order. For many foreigners, living in Sweden feels like experiencing the future today. Cities are in harmony with nature. People are environmentally conscious, and public services are highly efficient. The backbone of this seamless system is a strong welfare state. Services in fundamental areas such as education, healthcare, transportation, and public safety exceed global standards. What's most impressive, these services are provided almost equally to everyone. Swedish society is built on the belief that individuals bear responsibility, not only for themselves, but also for others. You can see this in the actions of a child who doesn't litter, or a driver who patiently gives way to pedestrians. Everyone is part of the system, and everyone is responsible for maintaining it. Swedes are often described as quiet, calm, and reserved, but this distance is not coldness, it's respect. No one bothers others unnecessarily. You won't be asked, "Why are you alone?" if you're sitting by yourself in a cafe. People don't speak loudly on public transport. Privacy is sacred. Personal space is respected. At first, this might feel strange to outsiders, but over time, it's seen as a more peaceful and civilized way of living. Homes are simple, yet functional. Minimalism isn't just a design trend here, it's a philosophy of life. The less is more mindset is reflected in all aspects of daily living. Swedes are clearly opposed to consumerism and take recycling seriously. In fact, many Swedes prefer repairing old items over throwing them away. This reflects both their environmental awareness and high level of social consciousness. And what about technology? Sweden is one of Europe's pioneers in digitalization. Tax procedures, banking, medical appointments, even school grades, all are managed online. Even your mailbox is on your phone. With high-speed internet and widespread digital services, much of daily life can be managed through a smartphone. This enhances personal freedom and improves time management. Yet, technology here doesn't isolate people. On the contrary, it saves time and allows for healthier human connections. Security in Sweden is felt almost invisibly. You may not see many police officers around, but if there's a problem, they're there within minutes. People walk around comfortably, even late at night. It's not surprising when a lost wallet is returned days later to its owner. Trust here is a mutual contract. I trust the system because it trusts me. Work life is also a cornerstone of modern Sweden. The standard work week is 40 hours, but flexible schedules are common. Working from home is not unusual. It's normal. Despite existing hierarchies, employees are encouraged to express their opinions openly. Bosses and staff eat in the same cafeteria. Sometimes they even bike to work together. Status differences are seen not as signs of superiority, but simply as differences in roles. Fika, perhaps one of the most intriguing traditions of modern Swedish life. This untranslatable word is much more than just a coffee break. Fika is not only a short pause at work or among friends. It's a small but meaningful ritual of socializing, sharing, and being present together. Even before a job interview, someone might say, "Let's have a fika first." Because here, people value relationships as much as they value work. Children are seen as the future of society. Raising children in Sweden is not only the responsibility of parents, but of the entire society. Daycare is state-supported, education is free, and respect for children is essential. Physical punishment is strictly forbidden. When a child cries, the goal isn't to silence them, but to understand them. Every possible support is provided to help children grow up as confident and independent individuals. Immigrants are also an essential part of modern Swedish life. Many people from various countries live here. Although this diversity sometimes brings challenges, Swedish society strives to manage it with long-term integration policies. Everyone is expected to adapt to the Swedish system, but at the same time, everyone's cultural background is respected. This multiculturalism is especially visible in larger cities. Perhaps the greatest luxury offered by modern life in Sweden is simplicity, a life filled with peace, order, and a sense of safety. A life where noise is rare and silence is abundant. All these qualities make Sweden not just a country, but a philosophy of living. Many people who first arrive in Sweden think it's too quiet, but soon they discover a deeper meaning within that silence. Because in Sweden, life doesn't shout. It whispers, and those who listen carefully find serenity in that whisper. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and share your own experiences with Sweden in the comments below. Stay with us for more journeys into new places, cultures, and real stories. See you on the next adventure. Take care.